Hello and welcome to week 4. Week 4 exercises are going to simply be one large exercise called movie clip. If I remember this correctly from years past, this is probably going to be a two-part video. Sort of the first part dealing with making the movie clip and the second part being animating that movie clip. You should note that in the week 4 module there is a discussion to do. Pretty self-explanatory, so please check that as well. One other quick thing to note, remember to keep the week files, meaning sort of week 2, 3, and 4. Those are the files you should pay attention to. I noticed that I think the syllabus says potentially that this week we're introducing Project 1. Project 1 will be introduced actually next week, so keep that in mind that the weekly schedules or the weekly sort of actions and to-do lists are the most accurate thing. Okay. Before we head into this, you'll see that I imported and I sort of skipped ahead to steps 4. File, import, import to library. That is right here. Import to library. This bird.jpg is on D2L, so you're going to need this file before you sort of head into this larger exercise. Okay. So, what are we doing here? What we're doing is basically creating a movie clip. We have dealt with, and I'll sort of go to insert new symbol here, we have dealt with simply the graphic. We've made a red ball, a green ball, purple box, whatever. Those simple things that you guys have been animating. We're going to be dealing with a movie clip. A movie clip is a much more complicated symbol. What a movie clip is basically a symbol over here in the library that probably has some sort of animated element already in it. So what does that mean? That means that it has its own timeline. I always choose this bird flying as the example of it because I think it's going to sort of make sense in terms of why you would make a movie clip and then how it interacts with the main timeline. It gets a little confusing because we have multiple timelines. What this is going to sort of constitute is basically a bird flapping its wings. You'll sort of see the progression here of a bird flapping its wings, but it's sort of flapping its wings in the same place. It's not really moving. We're going to move it, meaning sort of from left to right and in space on the main timeline. Okay. The other reason to sort of create a movie clip like this is sort of efficiency. You'll see that we're going to sort of use this version of the movie clip and we're going to change its color. Next week we're going to expand upon this exercise actually, make this thing larger, make it fly in different sort of ways, but it's all coming from the same movie clip. So you'll see sort of the advantages of that. Okay, so I have moved ahead basically through step 5. Looks like it says choose. So I'm going to start here at step 6. We're going to insert a new symbol, and we're going to basically make a different version of this thing, and I'm actually going to use the graphic, so I'm going to name this bird graphic. Okay. And then it says make sure you're in the bird graphic. I can see the bird graphic right there. I'll sort of double check by hitting over here in the library. And then it says click and hold the bird JPEG in the library and dropping it into bird graphic. So I'm going to come over here to the bird.jpg and I'm going to drop that thing into the bird graphic. Okay, so a little more confusing. We have bird graphic, and then we just have bird JPEG. This is just sort of a picture sitting inside Flash, sitting inside the library. This is what we're going to end up using to sort of make the movie clip. So it's actually 3 steps from a raster-based graphic, this has pixels, to what is going to be a vector-based graphic, the bird graphic, to the movie clip, which we'll do here in a minute. So it says with the selection tool, the black arrow, which I have selected already right here, it says click on the bird JPEG so the blue bounding box appears. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. You'll see that that appears. That means it is selected. Okay, as you can see, and I'm going to zoom in, this is pixels. Okay, we can sort of tell when we zoom in, it's fuzzy. It's not, it's not an accurate representation of this thing. Photographically speaking, obviously, but it's pixels. At the beginning of the semester I made the differentiation between pixels and vectors. This is a pixel-based thing right now, okay, and we don't want that to be pixel-based because we want to animate it, so it's going to become a vector-based graphic here in a minute. So step 10, choose Modify Bitmap, Trace Bitmap. So I'm going to go to Modify Bitmap, Trace Bitmap. Okay. What comes up here is a Trace Bitmap window. What we are doing and what this means, Trace Bitmap, is sort of a fancy word for make this a vector graphic. Okay, this color threshold and minimum area has to do with how accurate you want to trace this thing. This photograph is, or this raster-based image is very simple. We have two colors. We have black and red. Actually, we have three colors: black, red, and white. The white we're going to get rid of in a second. What this is doing is turning a raster-based graphic pixels into vector. So going from squares or series of squares that describe something photographically to a vector-based graphic, which, as we talked about at the beginning of the semester, is a mathematical thing. It's sort of make the red line go from here to there, make it curve, etc. Okay. These color threshold and minimum areas should be set at 108. Okay. I'm going to leave these things at normal, and I'm going to click OK. When I click OK, I want you to watch, whether it's on mine or your version, what happens down here. Okay. What happened was that I lost the blue sort of bounding box, and I got these dots. I'm going to zoom in now. Okay. These dots indicate basically that this thing is selected, but now this thing is a vector. When I zoom in here, you should note this looks different. It doesn't look like that fuzzy edge. It created a vector-based graphic out of this thing. Okay. So what we need to do now is look at step 12 here. Click on the white background of the image to select it. So I'm going to actually use my black arrow again. I'm going to click off, and then I'm going to click on this thing. You'll see that I'm sort of clicking on and off. I can go in here and select particular areas. You'll see that I'm selecting the black area, the red area, whatever. I want to click on this white area. Okay. What I'm doing is getting rid of the white background that this sort of had attached to it, as an image often does. Okay. It's not sort of that those pixels were nothing, it's that they were white, and white is something. Okay, so we want to get rid of that because we're going to animate this. So I'm going to just hit delete on my keyboard. Okay, and that's it. That's it for creating this thing, creating the sort of vector-based version of this thing. So again, I'm going to zoom in. You should see that this is now a fairly crisp, clean line that has been created from the raster-based graphic. Now, I say that's it. What I mean is that's sort of the setup for the movie clip. We have sort of the parts that we need to sort of forge ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a new symbol, and it says call it bird movie clip. Let's be as accurate as we can with our naming. So I'm going to make sure that that is a movie clip. So we have bird movie clip, and it is a movie clip. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. Now I have three things over here in the library. I have bird JPEG, I have bird graphic, and I have bird movie clip. We sort of went from bird JPEG to make bird graphic. Now we're going to use bird graphic to make bird movie clip. Okay, so it says go to the symbol bird graphic. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. Whoops, this guy. And using the selection tool, the black arrow, separate the three birds from each other. Okay, this is just sort of setting ourselves up to work a little more efficiently. So I'm going to move these guys. I select them by clicking, holding, and drawing a box around them, and just sort of separating these things out from each other. Okay. You wouldn't have been able to do that with the raster-based graphic. We can move these things independently now. Okay. Now it says select the bird furthest to the left. That's going to be this bird right here. And select the bird from and choose edit copy. So what it means by select is draw around it, so we have the whole thing. Don't click on parts of it. You might miss some of it. You'll see that this only selects the red or the black. Just click, hold, and draw a box around it. That will select the entire thing. I'm going to go to edit copy. Okay, or you can just do Command C. I'm on a Mac, so it's Command C. And then it says go to the symbol bird movie clip. Okay, so I'm going to double click here. I can see right here that I'm in Burn Movie Clip, and then it says choose Edit, Paste, and Center. What this is going to do is create a keyframe in the first frame of the movie clip. So I am going to Edit, Paste, and Center. Okay, that pastes it down on the center hash mark. And it says position with the selection tool, the bird, so the beak is right at the center hash mark. What this is going to do is sort of keep a certain amount of consistency when we start to animate this thing. So I'm going to zoom in so I can really sort of see. And I'll have sort of the bottom beak right there. Okay. Now it says go to frame 3 in the timeline and insert a keyframe. Okay, so this should be review from last week. We want a keyframe, not a blank keyframe. Okay, we want an actual real keyframe. And then it says go to the frame 4 and insert a blank keyframe. Go to frame 4. What we're doing is sort of setting up a space in which the next version of the bird is going to come into. Okay. Double click on the bird graphic, select the middle one, hopefully see where this is going. I'm going to select that middle one, edit copy, come back to bird movie clip. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking back on our instruction here. Go to the bird movie clip, make sure you're on frame 4. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing, edit, paste, and center. I'm going to make sure, I believe it was the bottom beak. Yeah, we can sort of go back and sort of see where that was. Center that bottom beak. Go to frame 6. In the timeline, insert keyframe. We're basically just giving ourselves, or giving the bird, I should say, some space to sort of, some time to sort of let the wing go from down, or sorry, up to down. Okay, so we have 3 frames, which is actually quite quick if you think about 24 frames per second. So what I'm going to do is then go to frame 7. I'm on step 28 and insert a blank keyframe. Okay. I'm going to double click on the bird graphic. So you know, as I do this, you can imagine that this doesn't have to be necessarily something like this raster-based graphic. I'm going to edit and paste in place, but rather something that's drawn, something that you've created, potentially in Flash or drawn and scanned in. So I'm quickly going through this. Go to frame 9, insert keyframe. This is just sort of a repetitive thing. Now, the last thing we need to do, it says go to frame 10, is we basically need to sort of complete this bird flying. Okay, so the wings are up, the wings are down, or sorry, the wings are in the middle, wings are down. If we want this bird to sort of appear as if it's sort of flying in a cycle, basically what we need to do is have it go back to that middle stage. Okay, so we're up, down, or sorry, up, middle, down, and if we go middle again, it will sort of complete the cycle of the bird flying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to frame 10, insert a blank keyframe, and now I'm going to go to frame 4, okay, which basically contains the middle stage of this bird flying. I'm going to edit, copy that. I'm going to go back to my frame 10. I'm going to paste and center, position him, and then simply, this is slightly different, go to frame 12, and we could insert a keyframe. I'm going to just insert a frame. Okay. And now we have a complete movie clip, bird movie clip. Okay. This is going to sort of be the basis from which we use, or the symbol that we're going to use to now animate on the timeline. This will make sense once we head to the main timeline. So I'm going to stop the video here, and at this point you'll sort of head into part 2.